The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of 50 Plus One or its host. The content provided is for informational purposes only. Any views or opinions expressed are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, or individual. All content is provided in good faith and is intended to be thought-provoking and informative.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of 50 Plus One here with Sandeep Menon. Today we have a very important guest, Dr. Shaji Prabhakaran, former General Secretary of AIFF. Shaji sir, thank you so much for joining me first of all.
Thank you, Sandeep, for having me on your show and wish you all the good luck. It's my pleasure to be part of your show.
Yeah, so before we start, I just want to ask in general, what is the current status of you and the AIFF? We see the frequent emails that you send to the AIFF, top brass as well. And there is, I think, an ongoing court case between the AIFF as well. So, what is the current status of all of this, and what is your current status with the working and relationship with AIFF?
I see there is no working relationship with AIFF at all. Just it not like too many emails I have shared. I think after long 6-7 months, I have shared one this month, just highlighting everything what went through, because those facts were not known to anyone and have never spoken anywhere. And I thought I must share everything with all the members so that they know everything. And it's important for me also to be, as transparent as possible that way, because there are, things comes out as without any verification, anything, and people say different things, and therefore the truth has to be told, and truth always prevails. And yeah, as far as my legal case is concerned, yeah, it is the fight is for my credibility and my reputation rather than getting back to AIFF. I never want to get back to AIFF and under this leadership, because I really don't trust him for a second. That is what my experiences were. Therefore, I have no intention to go back, but I'm fighting for my reputation and all the lies what he's trying to spread all across, which is not good for the game and not good for him as the president of the federation.
So you're saying you have no interest in any leadership position in AIFF?
No, absolutely not. I don't want to go back to AIFF with the current leadership, with the current president. Definitely not. Not even in my dreams. There were there were a lot of discussions to get me back, but then I always try to play down that, because I never want to. That's a fact. Because once there was a mistrust, you can't really trust again in the same person, and that is the whole fact about it. Because it is not about position at the end; it is about being honest and being true to the game, rather than running after the position. And I have no interest to work with this person in my life. Yeah.
Sir, when you said, discussions to come back, was that with the current leadership or somebody else in between?
No, I see there were some members asked me, if you're willing to come back, there is a possibility and all. But I said, we should not discuss that part, because we are not, trying to, position something which is not practical for me, and it should not be done that way, because I've clearly send across the message that way. But I don't know, whoever at what level they discussed, I really don't know. But then, that's a fact. It was not once, but a few times this things came up, and a few meetings were also held. But then I, politely declined and my things were very clear because once you have mistrust, then that can come back again. Therefore, it is not about uh, being there means you have to do work, and your entire focus has to be on the work, not on daily politics, daily fighting, and and also say politics is part of sports federation that you cannot take out. But then healthy politics, not the very low level politics. That is where the problems are.
Sir, before you and Kalyan, that whole leadership group took over, I know that you had come in as football reformers because the previous brass was holding on to their position for too long. Elections was not happening, so many issues going on, and you had very good relationship with a lot of the state associations and people within the AFF also. This much also I know. So how when did that change? Why did that change?
See, the change is because see, it is again, the president should be a person who should have, say he need to listen to everyone, yeah, and he should not try to look everything in with the prism of politics. When you trust each other, therefore you have to take decisions uh, in a way where you mutually respect each other. And I've soon found out very early, say in first 2 months only, that the entire focus of the president is not in the right direction. And slowly, I adjusted, but then it was too hard. And then trying, I was trying to get blamed for many things which were not my decisions, and that is where I was trying to share things with people who are important in the hierarchy, and but then see, football has to be the 100% focus there. Yeah, when football is not 100% focus, then is difficult, because for me, football is always 100% focus, not me as person or anything else. Yeah, and that way it is difficult to adjust. Say yeah, people have their own career goals, their own way of working, their own priorities. But then when football becomes secondary in a football organization, then it's very difficult. And what I felt was that uh, football was not the number one priority, and it is always secondary. And the were trying to influence decisions which were not for the game, not for the betterment of the game, but for for something else. And slowly, this happened, and then I decided to you know resign. And that was, I haven't told anybody except my family that the because it's difficult to work, and I better move out, because at the end I don't want to be there, because a lot of things might go wrong, and then I will also have to take the blame on that, and then it is difficult to work as a team, because at the end it is a teamwork. You need many people to work with, but then when you have the trust broken with the president, then it is difficult to stay and work, because then you are firefighting unnecessarily, and your whole energy and focus is in a different direction. And I am not one who will compromise to stay, because the positions, I always say and I always believe, these are temporary anyway. And your work, your actions, and your integrity towards the game, that is much more important. And yeah, because the when person you're working for the first time, you also try to adjust, yeah. But then there is a threshold. But when you cross that threshold, it is difficult, and that is where you can't push others out. You can only decide about yourself. And yeah, and then when you know it reached to a point, I have to speak my mind. Yes, and that's how that
Sir,
yes.
from the answer that you gave, I was picking up two, three things. I just wanted some clarification on this, which is you mentioned the focus was not on football from the Kalyan side. Could you be open to telling us what the focus was on instead of football, if that is not the primary motive?
See, yeah, see when yeah, like because you want to project yourself more than the game. Yeah, and you want to have grab headline, you want to have photo op opportunities, and then you are trying to push things which are not priority for football, depending based on our current realities of football. Yeah, because those are the real problem. Because our vision, strategic plan which puts uh, everything on priority. Yeah. And then you have to deal with limited budget, and you expect the president to really work hard to get more funds into it. Yeah. Because you have promised, and that is where you have to focus as well. Because India is not a poor country. There are a lot of possibilities how you collaborate and get different support for football, and that has to be your priority work. Yeah, and if you fail to do that, then you are making commitment, you are making promises. At the end, you will not be able to fulfill, and you become terrible in the eyes of fans and stakeholders, and that is what been continuously been happening, because you are promising, you are not delivering, and there is a time. Yeah, and then you have clearly told that I will only look into the commercials, a partnership, nobody else. Therefore the responsibility is yours 100%. Then and then you don't have to be reminded about the situation. You have to work proactively getting the partners, whether they are kind, whether they are, cash, whatever. And that is where your primary responsibilities are, because you are not managing day-to-day administration. Yeah. And your focus has to see that how the game grow, how the stakeholders get help, how you bring in more credibility to the organization. And credibility is not only about what you speak, it is about action, yeah? And also trying to put across something which nobody has done it, yeah, because everyone was criticizing previous management. Therefore your responsibility is much bigger. When you criticize others, you have to lead by example. And it is not about grabbing media attention. See, the media attention is good, no doubt, but at the end you have to be very honest about what you are speaking. Are you believing in it? Are you walking the talk? Yeah. And that is where all the differences were, and I was finding it difficult. And then frequent lies, yeah, which you cannot tolerate. Okay, you can make mistake unintentionally. You have said something, it's okay, but then it cannot become part of your DNA, that you are trying to lie, and then you are caught as well. Yeah. And that way it doesn't help.
What lie did he say?
No, see, I don't want to get into, those, if you
Sure,
read my letter, it is very clear,
sure.
whatever. And there are many things, because I don't want to see, get into, those minute things, because it doesn't help the game. Yeah. Because now football has to get better, because it has already gone to the lowest point. And that is where, everyone who loves football in India, who loves Indian football, have to focus to see how things can turn back to the track, and that should be the responsibility. See, I might sound frustrated by speaking all that, but then it doesn't help because the things have gone. Now those people who are there, it is their responsibility to look into how things can be corrected, how things can be done better. Because I don't want football to suffer because of one or two individuals. It is football is not about those positions, and they are being elected with certain expectation, and they have to fulfill. Otherwise, at tomorrow, suppose a new leader comes who is genuinely good, but then they will have to suffer again because nobody will believe, nobody will trust them if they say something, because they will say, oh, previously people have spoken, they haven't delivered, and we have seen the result. So therefore, it impacts the game in a bigger way. And those we are not listening to every people, their minds. There, millions who are putting their energy, resources into the game, and how they feel is very important because they take decision to be part of the game and they influence. Yeah, and the leadership, that is why is very important, that they communicate uh, facts and they believe in league and top. That is will win credibility, and that is where as long as I was there, I was trying to do trying to be as transparent as possible. But then you can't be the system your own way, you can't be the structure your own way, because it is also about culture. Yeah, and how you create that kind of culture where the transparency it becomes your very key ingredient of governance. Yeah, and we are very weak in those parts, and that is where many stories comes out which say 60%, 80% of the times are not facts. Yeah, because some people will say something and that goes multiple times, and it gets into the minds of the people and they believe, oh, these are the facts. But many times these are not the facts because lack of transparency. Yeah, many good decisions have been taken in last 18 months, 20 months. But then, the problem is we all have forgotten those decisions, which were really, know, uh, have impacted the game positively. But then, that is where this position as president is very, very important, because you are kind of a pilot who is well trained to take off, land, and meet any turbulences while anywhere, any part of the sky. Yeah, and that is how you need to have those skill sets. And people, when you don't have the experiences of dealing any organization, dealing people, and dealing also professionals, then you take decisions which you cannot really justify. And that is where football has suffered in India for last few months and many months. Yeah, because decision taking is again is depends upon your competency, your background, your skill set, and how good you are as a team man. So many things. Yeah, and that is what we see. The decision making is being poor, and that is directly linked to the competency level of the leadership. Yeah, and I fully uh, think that there's only one man, because at the end he has all the power, he has all the influence, uh, and at the end whatever he wants, that is being done in the organization.
Sir, another thing I wanted to ask is, in your letter, you had mentioned that you had to do a lot to make Kalyan to be president, and recently was a news report saying by June had warned you about him as well. Can you take us back to the time when the elections were going on? Like what all was going on in the background, if you can say this,
See,
to
like,
to do all this?
yeah.
Yeah.
See, for us, Kalyan was never part of our game plan because we worked everything, say, uh, 3 months back. Yeah. The time Supreme Court on 18th May 2022 decided that there will be an election and they have kind of terminated the previous executive committee from their position. And from that day, we worked hard for
We
three
would be
months.
you and who else?
No, no. Kalyan was not part of our game
No,
at
no.
all.
Who else? When you
All the
said we,
all the state associations. Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, we were, say 95% were together. Yeah. And we had a very clear vision. We had a clear roadmap. And Kalyan was not part of our game plan. And yeah, and everything was going smooth. But yeah, and then, Kalyan was kind of paratrooped. Yeah. And then, yeah, see, the thing is that he forced himself and which is not the right thing for him to do being a footballer because see the thing is that yeah he had no doubt politically he got the support and then we then said okay because uh, we because the government uh, we were sure that government will support football in a big way and he being part of the political party therefore it will be a good situation and he being a former player okay at least he will have the right focus towards the game. And that is what when his proposal came we kind of conceded because I was supposed to run for the president. I even filed my nomination, everything, and that was the plan. But then, we withdrew, and then, we thought this is better because there is a footballer coming, and we didn't had any, background knowledge about Kalyan except he being a player. Yeah, what he did, you know. How big he was politically. We haven't really, gone into any background check. Yeah, and we all decided together that okay we will support, yeah, and that's how we teamed up. It was a big team, and that is why see the result, like it is not Baichung's fault. Yeah, Baichung came very late into the picture. Yeah, and in place of Kalyan, whoever, it could have been the same result. Yeah, and unfortunately for Baichung, he came very late, and then and I and Baichung go for known each other for long, yeah, more than nearly 25 years since his playing days, and we are me committed Baichung, support. I said, Baichung, now it is too late because we have already made our commitment and we are not, politician. Tomorrow change our stand. We cannot do that. Yeah. And I said I can only speak about myself because I am, given my, word. Now I cannot really pull back myself. Yeah. Only thing I can do is, I can move out of the whole thing. That's the only thing I can do. But then I told Baichung, you are late, and it is the result is there in front of us, and we can't do much now. And but Baichung told me that very clearly that you are being used. There will be you will be the first casualty. You take it in writing. I said, yeah, see that. So I, anything can happen. I told to by Chung that way, that anything can happen with anyone. Therefore, I am not supporting because of some reason, because I only for football reason I am supporting, and nothing personally for me. That's all, and I can't, pull back myself now, and I cannot change my stand. It's very clear, and Baichung understood the situation, and then he only cautioned me, saying that you have to be careful about things because Kalyan you cannot trust because he's not the person, but what to say because I can. Oh, he might have he because they played football together, and he might have known something, but I never asked him what was all that because I didn't want it to again get into any negative mindset because I already decided, okay, we have to support Kalyan and let's put everything for his win. Yeah? And that's how. And then, yeah, then, they said, okay, you will manage FIBA, AFC affairs, everything. And then in the discussion, everybody in the those members wanted me as the general secretary. That is their call. Yeah. And yeah, first, you know, I was reluctant, but then, at the end I said, okay, Kalyan being a footballer, and, this is an opportunity, okay, we can work something together and, help football. That's how I agreed, and yeah, you have to trust. See, at the end, see, whatever you have to take risk also, you have to trust also. And I was blindly trusting, 100%. No, even iota of doubt, about anything. And that's how you started. And I
Looking back,
trusted him.
sorry, are you saying?
No, I trusted him for long. Yeah, even when there were clues, I should be careful. But then I don't know, some forces where I don't know how I was kind of blinded, which I still can't understand. I am not like that because I kind of I cannot tolerate something uh, like which puts what you say uh, very drastic in terms of the teamwork, yeah. And when you have given 100% to somebody, therefore you at least think, okay, the person will be faithful, trustworthy, yeah. So that's my belief, yeah. And but then I was completely wrong, and yeah, that's what is life is. Yeah.
Yeah.
These
So looking back, do you think from the support of the government, did you get enough? Could Kalyan have got more, or could you have got more? Because 2 days ago, I tweeted about the money that Sai was giving for women's football, travel and playing friendlies and stuff like that. So
See, those support is already, see, there is a policy of the government. Yeah. Under policy, they were supporting. Yeah. But what you as a president, you have to knock the door. You have to have, bigger things done. Yeah. Those, you don't need the president to go and get that. Those are normal, and those are and football always been supported by the government for last 6 7 years, and we could hold the World Cup under 17 twice successfully because of the government support, and they believed in football. And but you need to go and get big things for football in India. Yeah, these are usual things. Yeah, your teams traveling, teams camps, teams training, getting the salary, some part of the salary of the coaches. These are usual thing. Every sport is getting that. Yeah, depending upon the level they are. Yeah, and those are not unusual support. But to get unusual support, you have to convince the government that in uh, you are in the process of doing things to get unprecedented result, unprecedented things for football, and that would get football to a level where the government can be convinced, and that is where the responsibility is of the president. Yeah? And I don't think he has done that. Absolutely not. Yeah. See, if you see whatever the budgets have come, we haven't reached to the peak of what AIFF got in its history. Yeah. So therefore, what is that? There is nothing, and it is not the government side. It is our side. Yeah, because uh, I had a good relationship with Sai, government, every, but I was not supposed to deal that part because president was supposed to deal. Therefore, I was not taking any step other than the usual step. Yeah, and I left it to him. But then the result is absolutely pathetic. Yeah, because he could not get anything over and above what AIFF was getting always. Yeah. So therefore, it is his fault. He did say shit. And it is not about having and then it's you have to be persistent with, because see, the government can be our biggest supporter because we can't go out in the market and get revenue, get commercial revenue, sponsorship revenue, because our rights are already sold and we are getting what is being signed. So therefore it is your strategy, your approach, and how you open the door of the government, uh, and to get lots of support. There were a lot of possibilities, but I can tell you, he has let down. Yeah, and being a footballer, he has terribly let down because the expectations were very different, and my own expectation, definitely the fans' expectation, the stakeholder, but my own expectation was that he will get, and that's how I agreed to be part of the team, because I don't want to be having the position as a decoration. No, you have to really work 24 into 7 because there in that seat you are every hour you are dealing with 10 problems. Yeah.
Was there
And
any
the
specific
world
promise from his end?
no, Mr. Kalyan said that he will get 100 crore for football. Yeah. In first year,
Hmm.
and also lands for state associations to build training centers, everything. Yeah. But then, we have to ask, did he achieve anything? No. Yeah, and why you have made promises if you were not sure? You should not be, because then you let down yourself and also everyone. Because and I don't think it was difficult. Absolutely not. Those promises were not difficult, but you have to really go out of your comfort and work extra hard and you know extra hours, and you have to run extra miles. You can't simply walk and get those things. You have to run and run, say 100 marathons. And
Yeah.
that's how you will get it. You have to show to the people that how genuine you are with your effort, with your focus, with your interest, and and how motivated and how passionate you are to get things done for Indian football. And that was not visible. Absolutely not. Yeah, and because see, you are a president of an organization, it's a big thing. Yeah, it doesn't, many in India must be aspiring. Yeah, bigger people than him must have been aspiring to get there. But then you get there, and your 100% focus should be football. Yeah, and but unfortunately, that was not the case. Uh, and we see, we few, kept him kind of, uh, what to say, protected him in a big way. Yeah. just to hide his weaknesses, because very fast we came
He
to know
is
that.
the rest of the AIFF, core
Yeah,
committee.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The ESCO also. Yeah. Like nobody has come out and spoken any of the things. Even they knew everything, yeah, black and white, that he cannot deliver. We have made a wrong choice. That's a fact. Yeah. But then, that's the unfortunate part for football. Football has to go through this, which I never expected. And, like, it's not, see, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts because, you have genuinely helped, him to be in that position to make some impact, genuine impact. You are not, you are there as a position as a president. There are 100 people, yeah, but how different you are, how motivated you are, how challenging you have to challenge in that position. If you are not challenging yourself, you can't achieve anything. Yeah, no, you wait for people to come and knock your door. No, absolutely not. Because you are not a sport in India where you have done something credible that people come and knock your door. Yeah, and that cannot happen. You have to go and knock the door of others. Open the door, and that's how you can do things. That you can't be in a seat uh, and think that you are a king. Yeah, absolutely not. And that is the hard work he has not done. Yeah, he might have traveled to, say many states, as he states, but then, what he has achieved going there, does, any new projects have come which has made an impact? The usual thing, you go and cut ribbons and, inaugurate a competition or tournament, and have a meeting with some X and Y, doesn't help. Yeah. But what is the follow-up? What is you have achieved? What is that your CV can show that, okay, 130 crore budget, I have doubled it in 1 year. And that is what the challenge you have to take. Otherwise, we have million people who are eligible to be the president of the AIFF, who can do maybe slightly better job. Yeah, and that's a fact.
So,
Because I my pain is that because you lose time, and at the same time, our credibility of the organization comes into question, because people have a lot of belief and trust, and they go all out. When India play, people spend their hard-earned money. Some fans, they take even loans. Some fans have to beg to their parents that, I want to go and support India. Think about those cases, where they don't have healthy salary, but then they are spending one match some 30,000, 40,000 to travel, yeah, to get there. And how they feel, we cannot let them down, because that's, we cannot see, we cannot feel. And those are the things you have to do to really give them some satisfaction, yeah, at the end. And if you can see that, what is the transformational project he has announced so far by his own, can you name one? No. You are ticking the box. Absolutely. And that way we will be there itself. We can't make, those changes. Yeah. And, that is where the leadership is a key aspect. Yeah. And when the leadership is, backward in thinking, and doesn't think 30 years ahead, 40 years ahead, 10 years ahead, and having the whole comprehensive view of every aspect of the thing while taking decision, you cannot take Indian football forward. and
sir,
and the yes.
no, I am just asking, and forgive me if the question is a little offensive. You were also part of the same leadership group at that time. So, how much responsibility was on you to maybe push against this or push through some projects Because if you can't always just blame the one single person, right? The entire
No, no,
committee would
no, no,
look at.
absolutely. No, no, see, absolutely. See, whatever responsibility, accountability I have to take that. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. See, if you look into the Vision 2047, yeah, and that is what, I have created. Yeah, spending maybe tons of hours, yeah, with my team. Unfortunately, they are not part of any more of the AIFF. Yeah, those core people who have devoted a lot of time with me, looking, till 47, what can be done and and those are there. And if you give it to somebody to do a bit of research, yeah, and see 26 targets, whatever there, and what all been achieved till November. See that, yeah, and whether we were ahead of the time or not, yeah. But see, what I mean is that, see, the responsibilities, definitely you are accountable, yeah. But then, I tell you my position, I can only recommend, I can only suggest, I can not go and take a decision my own. Yeah, I can influence decision absolutely, because and that's what I have done. Yeah, many of the things. See, if we have the league structure for women's today, I have influenced it, but one influence didn't work. That they taken back about minimum salary to players. Yeah, that was again, I was trying to influence, but then somebody didn't wanted to go with, and then they have taken that decision back. That would have changed the lot of economic value chain in the women's football, having the minimum salary, and even having the third division, and also the whole blueprint for the youth league was ready, yeah, in a far better way, and the whole academy project was far different, yeah, when Wenger coming. See, I wanted to use Wenger, like, every second of him is like like a gold mine. Yeah, you have found a diamond, and you cannot really waste that. Yeah, how you can unearth diamond, and but unfortunately, see what we have ended up. The academy is still not functional. Yeah, maybe functional now, but what I'm trying to say is that you have to be really think holistic and comprehensive and far-sighted. Yeah, having academy in India, or say AFF ran academy, five academies in 20 say 11, 12 also. Yeah, it is not for the first time AFF is going to run academy. Yeah, but then what different it is. Yeah, how different it is, every aspect of it. And Wenger involved means you have to really use him, that to really impact, influence the whole of country. Yeah, but then uh, I don't know. I haven't seen that we have utilized Wenger's visit to India as something big, the outcome basis. Yeah, academy anyway, would have functional if Wenger comes. But we have to, those are the opportunities where you have the right vision, right, focus to get the best out of. But yeah, if you want a photo op with Wenger, then you have a different approach. That is
Sir,
what it is.
I wanted to bring some attention to one of the biggest talking points in Indian football has been Igor Stimac and his contract. While I did the interview with Igor a couple of weeks ago, he mentioned you handled the contract negotiation. So is that come true? That did you handle the contract, and why just you?
No, no. See, the whole the contract part. See, the whole negotiation started from July. Yeah, after the SAF Cup win in Bangalore. That was 4th July 2023. And following that, president and vice president had a meeting at that night, and Igor had a discussion. And then, based on that discussion, I was not part of that meeting because. I somehow could not reach the venue because I got a call and then I got busy with the call. And then Wenger, then Stimac has shared his proposal where, with the PPT, with 30 or 40 slides with his expectations, demands, and how he want to go forward with the national team. And it was very exhaustive and well-made plan, I would suggest. Yeah. And then the president decided that this will be taken forward by the core committee, and the chairman of the core committee was vice president. So, and I was not part of the whole thing. Yeah. And then this whole Asian Games, thing started and all. And then because Igor very categorically, when he proposed and he given the proposal, his wish list, everything, he said that by end of August, September 1st, he would like to sign the extension. Yeah. And that didn't happen. Yeah. And then, then I wrote a mail to the president and everyone saying that, what I heard, because I don't know, I heard through media sources that, in next few couple of days, Igor is going to resign because, we haven't fulfilled our promise of extending and discussing the contract extension with him. And the reasons of, I recommend that we should extend his contract, and all were in unison that way. That's how the committee was given the responsibility to extend his contract. And but somehow I don't know, discussion didn't happen. I don't know why. But then I was told, then you go, you take forward the discussion. That's what happened. Then then it was discussed, and I have, because see, I want to avoid a crisis, because crisis, a lot of the club issue, and then getting and reaching Asian Games, and what all, those were avoidable, absolutely. And my suggestion to president was that we should not go to the Asian Games because we are not prepared first, and we don't have the team, we don't have the players, and it will look, we will be only in crisis. Yeah, why to take crisis? Yeah, unnecessarily take a hit, and that was my final, my own suggestion to president. But then, he decided, okay, no, we will participate. But then I knew we will only deal with crisis, and Igor was also frustrated because it was not the team he wanted. How you are giving a team to the coach he has not selected. So all that, and that's how I got into the discussion, and as per his wish list, there were so many things, and then we could agree only 30% of the thing what he wanted. Yeah, so many things, and those were global for any coach to have. Yeah, it is not something out of the box he was asking. Yeah, maybe except one or two things. But rest everything was very genuine, very everything, and we had a long discussion. And then I was updating the president and whenever possible to the core committee also, and that's how this all started and ended.
Yeah. Sir, the biggest talking point has been this lack of a exit contract clause in the contract. Now, AIFF has categorically, I think, put that on you. But didn't the lawyer not look at it? How could an association sign a contract which is so lopsided towards
No, absolutely.
courts?
No, absolutely not. It was not lopsided. Absolutely. See, it is again the people's competency, experiences, and how you deal with exit. Yeah. See, the problem is AFF itself doesn't know the facts. Yeah. When you communicate something, you have to really look into the facts, and the papers are there to look into. His termination clauses were revised in 2022 itself, not in 23. Yeah. And I don't know how.
So that clause was pre-existing in the contract.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The previous contract.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, the first time when his extension was granted in September 2022, and the decision of the executive committee to grant him extension, technical committee, and then it was very clear in the contract that okay, if his contract will be extended if he qualifies for the quarterfinal of the AFC Asia Cup. And that's how, those clauses were removed. And see, it is not about having clauses or not clauses, termination. See, same thing happened to me. Yeah. Like I had my termination clauses, everything. But see, they terminated me, but I went to the court and court has stayed it. Yeah. So it is not about having the termination clause, not having, and in the global contract like coaches, we have to know the facts. Yeah. See how many coaches contract we know globally, what it is contains. Yeah. There are so many things. Yeah. It is the termination clause. Again, if you want to terminate, you have to follow the process. Yeah. And Igor, he himself made it clear. See, if I was handling that termination, it's simple. You have to have a professional discussion with the coach or anyone. Yeah. In my life, I might have terminated, 20, 30 contracts and employment, agreements, but none has gone to the wrong side. Why? Because, you have to follow the process. You have to see, you cannot take, unilateral decisions. Yeah. Because see, the coach is a professional guy, and a professional never want to go out in a bad way. That is the first, mantra of any professional. If you are a professional, you don't want to go with a fight. That means you are hitting your own career forward. Yeah? Because you need next employment, you will be working with somebody next, and they will always be, looking, why this guy been sacked, always around for track record. Profession never goes that way. So the professional way of dealing is you have to call the coach for a one-on-one meeting, face to face. You cannot have a telephone call, while stalking somebody. This is the worst thing you can do. Like you are divorcing, the husband and wife divorcing each other on a phone call. Yeah, you cannot do that. See, you have to understand that he's been part of Indian football ecosystem, and your primary, he's one of the your primary employee. Yeah, after your general secretary, he is your primary employee. You cannot deal with an employee like that. It sets a wrong example. And that is what is the crux of the thing. You have faulted majorly and with your unilateral decision without following professional practice. Yeah, you should have given him a letter saying, we would like to terminate. What you have to say about it. Yeah, there are so many ways. Yeah, you have lawyer inside, you have HR people inside, or if you don't have, you can pay somebody to advise you how to terminate a contract, mutually. And it is an easy thing. It is not a rocket science. But what the president has done, and what I understand is that the committee was in the opinion that, okay, we will have a discussion, we will, give him 1 month time so that, it all becomes easily we part ways. But the president, what I heard from somebody, he was, kind of under stress, saying, I want him to be terminated now. You send him the termination letter, like a dictator. You cannot be. See, you are in a responsible position. Even if your egos are hurt, if somebody abuses you, you have to control yourself because you have to think about the institution, about football, and that is your primary responsibility first, not to think about yourself. And what he has done, as a president, he has only thought about himself, because what I understand is that Igor has made a statement that he should also resign if he is resigning. Yeah. So that he should not take it as something personally. Yeah. You have to deal professionally because you are in a responsible position. You are accountable for your action. You are not running your home. It is not your family business. Whatever comes in your mind, you decide, and you put the game into jeopardy and organization into jeopardy. And then and then talk all about, putting, giving different angle to your own incompetencies. And
So
therefore,
AIFF
what?
wanted to do the process in due process. It is one man
Yes,
who.
yeah, exactly. See,
That's what you're saying.
if you talk privately with anyone who were part of that group, they will all tell you, yeah, that when their decision went to the president said, no, I want him to be sacked now because he wanted, I don't know, some headline management
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
to please his ego. And you can't function uh, in that position with ego. Yeah, you will always be, people will criticize you rightly or wrongly. Yeah, you have to keep your balance. You have to, your emotional intelligence, your, aggression, everything need to be in control because you are not, Kalyan Chaube. You are a president of an organization. You have to behave responsibly, and your actions are accountable. Yeah? And he has, behaved in a irresponsible manner and totally unprofessional and unethical manner, which, nobody does that unless you are a owner of a club. Yeah, some owner of the club, they do it because, this is their own thing. Yeah, like I want to get sacked, want to sack somebody because he has lost that particular match. But you can't have that kind of mindset when while running an organization like All India Football Federation. And see, in my case also, why, I have an advantage. Why? Because of his unethical unilateral decision. Otherwise, why the court will give me any relief? No, it is his foolishness. Yeah, and see it. That is where, you need maturity. You need, experience. People like him, who is not fit even to run a village club, I can tell you, because they can't manage people. They don't know manage. They can manage, their seat day to day, hour to hour, and that is what he's doing. See, every hour he's doing that. How he can protect his seat? That is, he's been doing, last 8 9 months. He's protecting his seat. Doing, adjusting, and, completely destroying football that way.
uh, uh, I had few clarifications. Let's say there was a lot of
Yeah,
allegations
yeah,
and a
please,
lot of
please.
suggestions. So the budget was a major issue during the, at least in the first part, even when you were also there, and there was a lot of people complaining that the expenses for all the people to travel to Saudi was huge and those kind of stuff. Why was the budget so badly mismanaged to a position where we are now, if you want to believe some clubs, fining the clubs to get the money?
No, no, absolutely. See, Sandeep, the budget was not a problem. It was not mismanaged. See, the only one area where the budget was, mismanaged was the I League production. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was, we have spent more than 8 crore for that. Yeah, and that was not in the scheme of things, and that has disrupted everything. And that is the decision of the president. Yeah? And that decision was also because he told very clearly to me that he will get 10 crores. Therefore, net and net, you are not spending anything. Yeah, and that was the whole calculation for me to, agree. And that one decision, and then, see, the thing is that he insisted on, even the when the under 17 team played, even the women's team played, with we gone and with the same specification of production. So we ended up overall, spending more than what we could have spent on production, and that
Where would
has
he have got the
disrupted.
10 crore in anyway?
He said that, he will get the advertising revenue. He
Uh,
asked me to shares with an advertising agency, all that, and then, said, he said he has a
Sponsorship
network.
and stuff.
He, yeah, I left it to him because he said very clearly I should not be focusing on that part. It is, I will get it. So then, and then you made the expenditure, and he is completely unaccountable for that. Yeah, and that is what my biggest complaint against him is, that because how can you do such foolish step when yourself are not sure that you will get it, but then you have insisted, not, like for production to him was like a something like a mega project. Yeah, like his 90% was focus was on that side. And I initially believed, yeah, I thought, okay, better production, better quality comes out, overall, the brand value of I League will go up, our football will go up. But then I always told, we don't have the budget. Yeah. And it is not, see, we are dealing with, multi-million budget. Yeah. It is, the numbers are very clearly stated and we cannot go wrong. Yeah. But he forced, to have that disruption in the budget, and that is where AIFF is suffering. Nothing more than that.
So, okay. Another thing I heard in the beginning part of the new brass taking over, there was a lot of people leaving AIFF. Some I heard some very gnarly stories and less than ideal situation and all these kind of stuff. But people say what they want to say. So I just want the clarification from you. Why did this happen? And the brain drain that happens with people who are used to maybe organizing tournaments and getting things done, etc. That is a huge loss as well, right? So what
So
happened at that?
see, the thing is that there were deliberate exist, and there were some forced exist, and there were some, political exist. Yeah, there were,
Mm.
and then there were some genuine exist. Yeah. See, when the new management comes in, there is naturally you need key people who will tow the same philosophy, same vision, same goal, and same working culture. Yeah, but then to culture, it takes time to build. We were in the change management process. Yeah, you have to understand what change management means. Yeah, the change management is to bring a new culture. Yeah, and where you give opportunity to people to change their behavior, change their attitude, change their work style, and gel with the team. What we have realized that coming in, there were a lot of people who were in senior positions. They will not follow the new practice, yeah, and they are not ready to adapt to the new way of working, yeah, and changing things, yeah, for the good, yeah, based on the whole vision we had. And there were resistance, and then there were, kind of speaking behind the back to say, oh, all that. But see, the reason, I would tell, out of those all went, only 10% where I personally wanted they should go. Yeah, because of the change management to bring in a new culture. Yeah, and India is not like, say, is full of human capital. Yeah, you give them opportunity, you train them right, they will deliver. Yeah, it is not that football is like a rocket science where you have to reinvent the wheel, and you are completely dependent on people who've been there for, donkey years. Yeah, it is not that. But see, some people were genuinely hindrance to the change management process. Yeah, and they were poisonous. Yeah, and that is where they were relieved. And few, they had a genuine reason to leave because they got some opportunity, and they thought, they got some fear also, which was not right. Yeah, because see, what happens is, like when I went in, I you can't believe that, see, sometime. If you don't go with the team, like say if the coach comes today, they come with the team, yeah, like, their support staff, assistants and all, and then you have to rely on people inside. And I thought, okay, and there are tons of things to do. And we already announced, the president announced that within 100 days we will come with the strategic roadmap, and that's a lot, and he did it without even discussing. Yeah, and that's the most unfortunate part, because he is not going to deliver that roadmap. Yeah, somebody else is going to. But then 100 days is tough because you need to do, it is not writing something on a piece of paper. You have to do research, you have to do, have a stakeholder consultation, a lot of work you have to do. But then, we kept his commitment and did it. But in that process, what we have identified because during the research process of, developing our vision, we have identified that people, some of them are very reluctant to look into the new way of working. Yeah. And then see, many of the state associations had a different experiences from different people. They had treated them badly, they have not respected them, and they have not given the dues what the state association deserve, and all that. So there were, and I was told that 90% of the staff should be removed, should be changed. That was a
Who said
mandate
this,
given to
sir?
me. Yeah, to the president. President told me very clearly that 90%, but then I never wanted that. Yeah, because see, I also was previously in AIFF. I knew people who were there during my time, and I always been, in touch with many of them. And during my FIFA days, also I worked with AIFF, so I kind of knew, people, and I was never in the opinion that we need to get rid of 90%. But yeah, based on experiences, because I never wanted to go by experiences of others, except certain cases they had a very nasty reasons and genuine reasons that some X and Y have misbehaved, have not delivered, and they have not given the due weightage to member association. And there we took, see, I in my once when 1 year was completed on 2nd September 2023, in my video message also I've shared that I was never happy that many people leaving. 100%, that's the genuine. Yeah, few people I was definitely wanted them to go because see, culture is very important. Yeah, and accountability in the system, and and you cannot take this as job as a working in Microsoft, working in Google. Yeah, you have to really go and work out of your comfort. Yeah, like you're working in a garage. And if you have that mindset, then you have to be there. My thing was very clear, because see, if I am going to devote that much of time, that kind of energy, then and change is not about bringing by one person you have at the helm, everything will change. No, a lot of impact, a lot of influence. The quality of the work depends upon entire secretariat, how we are going to work. Yeah, because at the end they are made responsible, they are accountable, and they have been delegated the work. Yeah, and genuinely delegated. It is not that they are micromanaged. Absolutely not. Nobody was micromanaged in my time. Yeah, nobody was, because I have tons of things to do forward, looking forward. So that way, see, unfortunate that see, few of them left because somebody asked them to leave. Yeah, because of their influence, they thought, okay, people leaving will make AFO collapse. Yeah, some people had that mindset also, which is unfortunate. Because see, at the end, I told people, see, the world is very small. If you speak whatever, it comes back to haunt you, haunt you. And in leadership position, what happens is that even if you don't want to unearth anything, it comes in front of you, unfortunately. And then if you are not deciding, then you are compromising. Yeah, because see, you have to also understand you are 4 years to deliver. Yeah, it is not that you are a corporate company where uh, you you will not be hampered even if you do good work. If you have bad work, again, if you have a network, you will survive. Here, I genuinely wanted 4 years we make such a difference where everybody will have positive things to say, positive thing to experience, positive thing to feel. And that is where the mantra was. And from the day one, it was very clear. I told in my first interaction with the staff that I am not going to part way with anyone unless you yourself create issues for yourself. Yeah. So let's work as a team. So first message was that, and I genuinely believe, because see, I also been a part of organization, part of team, and it's not that first time handling the big group like that. So, and I also been in their positions. Yeah, I've been from started from a very low end position, and I know the challenges and the mindset. So I given everybody an opportunity to prove themselves, and say except 4 5, I have not sacked anyone. With yeah, that's very clear.
Sir, I just had two questions. One was, at that time there was a lot of MOUs being signed with Saudi and Qatar. What is the thought behind it, and has India really benefited from signing any of this? Because Qatar, I think, has invited India to come and play, or Qatar, Saudi wanted. There was some talks of junior teams going. Has it? What is the thought behind initially signing it, and what has actually come of it for
See,
India?
yeah, I can only talk about my time. See, we
Yeah.
signed first with Qatar, then Saudi, then Spain, and then Kafa. Yeah. And Saudi, we have, as long as I was there, I can say we utilized more than what it was in the MOU. Yeah, our youth teams, our women's team traveled, and then Santosh Trophy, and then there were a few more initiatives, pipeline, which was bigger. Yeah, and it is again, see, you have to really devote a lot of time, mutual, and also see my advantage was that personally I knew, it was like a call away. That was all the advantage I had. Yeah, and that's how we could start those MOUs very fast. Yeah, like within 1 month, the Saudi MOU was done, and so even Qatar and the Qatar also we used our under 17 team train, and few other things we have done. And see, and it's also, see, my, and then the CAFA was only signed in October 2023. It was like my last few weeks there. Yeah, and and that also was a well intended that our teams will go, especially the youth teams, especially women's teams, will go and play in their competition, and they are, they wanted. And because I share a good relation with them, because I worked with them for 5 years with all of them. And it just within a week we could finalize the MOU and we signed it. And yeah, but I don't know thereafter what is current situation with that. But then they were genuinely interested that they will invite India, and will allow India to participate in their competition. And they knew the mutual benefits when India will participate. And likewise, we were discussing with even West Asia Football Association also, and also Southeast Asian Football Federation also, how we can, collaborate. And I was in advanced discussion with both of the federations, because whenever opportunity comes, we have to, because our competitive landscape, we have to really get better competitive exposures. Yeah, and Europe, it's expensive, and sometimes it is not practical for us to spend that much of money going there and playing. Yeah, and if we can do in Asia with half of that budget, why not? The whole strategy was that. Yeah, and but and then Spain was about women's football. Yeah. And then the problem happened. They had a bit of a governance issue in Spain. Otherwise, we had in advance discussion even with Japan, that how we can get a women's coach from Japan. Yeah.
We
To
wanted to
handle
get a
our,
women's coach from Japan.
yeah, it was almost done. That Japan National Federation were willing to support, and that's how like it could have happened. I don't know, because I personally had a discussion twice, with them, and we have agreed. that they will send somebody. And but I don't know. And Spain was also the same. How we can get some youth coaches from there, yeah, especially for our national team, both men and women, and they were also willing, yeah. And those are the countries where we would have genuinely got a lot of help. But then, see, at the end, it's signing MOU is one thing, practically implementing, it's about a relationship. Yeah. Because see, they have their own priorities. Yeah. But you have to really have the one-on-one equation with them to get the best out of that MOU. Because see, to spend money, you can get coach. You don't need MOU. Yeah. But we are not blessed with money. uh, you have to depend on these federations, these countries to get people, where you get, maybe 50% of what the coach might, you might be spending on the coach, or when you're going playing an exposure match, they are taking care of your cost. So it happened, like so many times in my time, like, on a call, just a call, they have done it. Yeah. And those are the values, I could get it. And that cannot be, we cannot, I don't like to speak about it, but that's a fact. Yeah. So many times, a call away, I could have got maybe 3 crores, 4 crores of what things done for the federation. Yeah. And that's the value I have given the time I was there. Yeah. So it's again, your focus, uh, only after uh, request. It's not that you email somebody, it will happen. No, it doesn't happen that way. It's a very, personal oriented. You have to build that professional relationship with people. Who knows that? Okay, yeah, if we are doing something, then it is going to mutually benefit both the countries. So that's how you have to present the big picture to them. and
Yeah.
and that's the trust you have, and that's the advantage I had. Maybe because I was fortunate that I've been knowing people for more than 10 years, many of them.
Yeah. So the last question I wanted to ask is, you're a member of the EXCO in AFC. How does AFC see India as a footballing nation? Anything? Do they look at them as an opportunity, or do they just look at them as one of the teams that play? And can India benefit from them? Is there anything in the pipeline for India that can help in that sense?
See, I tell you very fact and very brute way that we have to help ourselves first. Yeah. See, the world is there to help us. In my last 20 years of experience working with different nationalities, different organizations globally, see, everyone whom I interact, whether a FIFA or AFC, they all believe in India story. Yeah, that there is a India story, potential of India story, and they are genuine. Yeah, it is not that they are looking for commercial deals in India or nothing. Yeah, there's nothing like that. They genuinely want, but to get their best support, everything. See, FIFA has already supported India by giving 2 World Cups, yeah, and that is all genuine intention of supporting Indian football. And AFC, has organized many competitions in India to give India the opportunity. So that way, so therefore, everyone in the AFC believes in, and are always there to support India. Yeah, and they are genuinely want Indian football to grow big. Yeah. But AFC cannot plan India's roadmap. FIFA cannot plan India's roadmap. Yeah. It is India has to plan its roadmap and look for support. Yeah. And that is where it works. Yeah. Because see, for AFC, FIFA, they are have their entire continent, the globally they have to work. Yeah. And they are always there for football development in India. And my experiences, when I was with FIFA, we did best for India. We gone out of the way to support India. Whatever India asked, and we created a lot of opportunities for India. And same like AFC, yeah. Uh, but what I have to say is that very clear that to India to get best out of everyone from the world, India will have to do a lot. Yeah, it cannot with this governance. It doesn't you get the best out of anyone. Why? Because you know, it doesn't show that capability that to get things because India need to go and present itself in every way, in multiple forums, yeah, and present that story that what India can achieve, and that it not on paper, but things what you have done, what you are doing, that's very important, and how you are doing. Yeah, see today, see everyone is just on one, smartphone. What you do today, wherever you are, everything is seen, read, and felt. So therefore, India, if India has to get the best of the world, we have to really work very differently, professionally, with a 100% focus on football, and we can do it. We have everything, yeah. But only thing is, what we don't have is our governance, our leadership, and our collective effort. Yeah, we still, fighting too much on our egos and what we can get as individually, forgetting what country can achieve for football, through football, and how we position India as a country through football. So therefore, we need to really think differently, and we need that kind of people. And India has got that kind of people. It is not that India doesn't have. India has got full of capable people, but then we have to really, bring those people into the administration, into the leadership position, and turn the game to a positive direction. And that is what I am looking for, and I'll be working towards it, because see, my life is all about football, and as long as I am alive, will have that wish that I will try to do my best to see that how I can genuinely help Indian football and do things. Otherwise I would have long gone out of India to do things which would have been much better in terms of comfort, in terms of my family, everything. Yeah, because you have everything. You are not like like I have to beg with anyone. I have the skill set to do work anywhere, everywhere. Yeah, football or not football. Yeah, but then people who are dishonest, unfortunately, are there in positions which have really hampered. And I'm sure the change will be there. Right people will come, and we will see better days. And that's how we will have positive stories on Indian football, and we will reach to our potential.
Yeah, let's hope we can get and I get to write those positive stories and tell it also. Thank you so
100%.
much. Thank you so much, Shaji, for your time. It was, if this has been a long time in the making. So thank you for giving your time and so freely as well. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I just want to say thank you once more.
Thank you, Sandeep. I really enjoyed the interaction, and wish you all the good luck. And I'm sure you will contribute your own way with your podcast and writing. And I'm sure you will have tons of stories to write, in future about Indian football, how it is going in that positive direction. Because nothing is constant in this world, and this negativity round will go to positive side. It's just matter of time. All the
Yeah.
best.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah. Was everything okay? Any problem?
Yeah, good. See, like I hate to see now I've reached a position. I hate to speak all negative side, but then the problem is you know like you end up speaking, yeah, because what to say, yeah.
No, I mean, we have to find the stories and dig in a little deeper also, right? Like you and I have had our, this thing in Twitter, and I've called
No,
you.
that's no. See that your friends were very because see like people are like because they hear say somebody would say this guy is that guy is that without knowing what the person is, yeah, and that's the price we pay in getting into these positions, unfortunately, because these are all thankless work you do at the end, yeah. It is you have a lot of pains, then you have real happy time. Absolutely not. Like say whether it was Delhi football, whether it is AIFF, you really hardly find those happy time because it's so much of pains you have to go through. Because uh, if you are genuine, then you have to go through that. There is no other. But you can say some people you can avoid, many people you avoid, but some people you think, okay, you have to take head on because it becomes too much. Yeah. But see, at the end, your conscience have to be clear. Yeah, that's all. Because you don't have to, defend yourself or you have to, because you cannot reach to those million minds. Yeah, what they are thinking about you, it's their problem. But it is you have to be damn sure about your own integrity, what you do, what you say, all that. So my life is about that. I don't go to please anybody. See, if I would have been in a different level than by now. Yeah. So
Anyway,
it's
it's always nice to talk. If you're in Bangalore, you let me know. We can maybe catch up over a coffee or something.
yeah,
And
100%. It's
yeah,
long overdue.
long way.
Last yeah, September I was there
Yeah,
for when the
SAF
AFC.
Cup. Yeah.
No, last September, because this Windsor was there, no, General
Ah,
Secretary
yes, Dr.
AFC.
Vinsar was.
Yeah, that time I was there for 2 days. Then, yeah, still haven't. I have many relatives there, and I also have, you know, property there as well. My
Sure.
wife's relatives are there, so there, we have a lot of family friends there, and my cousin is there, who has started now. You might have heard if you are, I think, using some Kerala items in terms of Fresno. He has started, I think, 4 stores now, which is a
Okay.
organic. Yeah, so he
I think
wants me there.
Swiggy it is there. I might have seen some
Yeah,
fresh something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So fresh, but it's more raw material than any
Mm.
finished item. Yeah, like if you want coconut
Mm.
oil, all spices, everything, and it is like I forget Fresno. What is his company name is? Yeah. So it's
Mm.
a
Oh,
and it is done in front of you also, like
okay.
grinding everything. Yeah. So he want me there also, but it's more than a year. So I've never,
Mm.
and also during SAF Cup, I could not go because it was so busy. Uh, so I will come 100%. I will let you know, and all the best,
Sure.
and keep
All the best
doing,
to you too.
get to the fact. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much. Good night, and once again, thank you.
Okay. Okay. All the best. Good night. Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah, you too.